Polarizing shows are an absolute blast to review. No matter what you write, half the viewers end up getting upset. There are two extremes for a show like this. One side states that this series is phenomenal, while the other states that it's absolute garbage. The truth always lies somewhere in the middle, though. With that out of the way, it's time to review Akame ga Kill. I'm Banana Owens, and this is an Otaku Youth Anime Review. The story stars Tatsumi, a young man from a poverty-stricken village. He sets off to the kingdom's capital, where he quickly learns of the corruption of the monarchy and nobility. Tatsumi ends up joining Night Raid, the assassination arm of the Revolutionary Army. The ultimate goal of the revolutionaries is to overthrow the king's advisor. Ironically named Honest, this advisor secretly manipulates the young monarch for his own personal gain, despite the detrimental impact to the kingdom. Each member of Night Raid possesses ancient weapons known as Imperial Arms. Each one of these weapons possesses a unique ability, and a significant portion of the battles of this series are between two Imperial Arms users. This series is often criticized as being edgy for the sake of being edgy, without any rhyme or reason to it. I disagree with this sentiment to a certain extent, but agree that this show is relatively dark. The problem is with the anime original ending, which ends up tossing in a bunch of character deaths in a very short span of time. I think the ending is where this edgy sentiment ultimately comes from. Up until the point where the anime diverged from the manga, the story was actually solid. It was not amazing, but it was average and more importantly managed to be entertaining. The dark tone of this series was actually a highlight for me. Before the rushed ending, the dark tone actually gave weight to the battles. At any point, a main character could be killed in a fight with another Imperial Arms user. I find that a lot of anime lack tension because nothing actually will happen to the main character. I would even say that the series actually has a likable cast of main characters. Night Raid is filled with quirky but lovable individuals. For instance, there's Mine, the typical tsundere, and Lubbock, the typical pervert. The show is at its strongest when Night Raid is all together. The characters interact well with each other and provide some humor to the serious situation. Similarly, the main antagonists known as the Jaegers are also just as likable. I also enjoyed the interaction between General Esdef and Tatsume. It was just such a different hero-villain relationship than I was used to. Overall, the story's not great, but it's still solid. And the anime original ending is the worst part of this series. The animation quality of this series is solid overall. Of course, the strengths in the animation are showcased during the action scenes. Given the wide array of abilities used by the different Imperial Arms, the fights in the series are exceptionally entertaining. The different levels of strategy employed are shown perfectly through the animation as well. One of my favorite scenes is one of the earliest of the series and features Tatsumi before he receives his Imperial Arms. Outside of the action, the animation is rather mediocre with the exception of the environmental design. The backgrounds of the series can be quite good, especially in scenes that take place within the capital. The look of the capital is just so interesting between the concentric designs of the layout with the variety of alleyways and shops. As for the sound design, nothing here is that impressive. The music fits the bill, but nothing really stands out in terms of a soundtrack. The openings and endings were the only things that I particularly noticed in terms of music. The voice acting is rather solid overall. I find the members of Night Raid and the Jaegers are charming and threatening when they need to be. I especially enjoyed the performance of Tatsumi as his character shows the most depth in terms of emotion. Again, nothing really stands out in terms of sound design. Akame ga Kill is not awful, but it isn't great either. It's a fairly average show that has a lot of entertainment value. Before the anime original ending, the story was relatively solid. The animation has some great moments as well. I give Akame ga Kill my watch rating. I'll be back next week for another review, and thanks for checking this one out.